I'm Mary McDonald from the city of Trotwood, and this is Trotwood Talks. And in Trotwood Talks, everything you need to know is what we talk about that has to do with the city of Trotwood. Today, my guest is Chad Downey. He is our Economic Development Director for the city of Trotwood, and we are going to talk about all things Trotwood and what's happening on our main street and all around for the city of Trotwood. So, Chad, how about you get us started?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. And this is a really exciting time for the city of Trotwood. We've got a lot of different developments going on, really that span the spectrum from new residential development to industrial development. And there's many more items that are underway and in the works at this time. So some of the really exciting opportunities that are going on in the community that many residents may not be aware of are the new homes being built in the Moss Creek neighborhood.
Yes.
Right now, we have a 23 permits that have been pulled as to this date for new homes to be constructed, with more on the way. And we're looking at how we can develop some of the additional acreage out there that currently doesn't have buildable lots set right now. And we're very excited with the continued redevelopment of the golf course, now named the Gray Wolf Golf Club.
Yes.
And they're going to be taking on a project to develop a new clubhouse at the golf course to bring that amenity into the community. So we're seeing substantial redevelopment there in a neighborhood that was otherwise directly impacted by the 2019 Memorial Day tornado. We've obviously had many of those homes get rebuilt, but of course these new construction homes is a great opportunity for residents who want to move into the community, move up into a newer built home, and a way for us to welcome new residents to our community.
Okay. And the housing values of that area, what are those homes starting at?
So most of those are going to be in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, and some may exceed that based on the packages that are put into them. But these are typically going to be kind of more in the $350,000 to $400,000, maybe into the lower $425,000 range. And we expect that to continue, and depending on some of the potential developments that we're working on right now with developers, we're very much in the pre-development stages of those. We could see homes that could get into the $250,000 to $350,000 range, more of those accessible secondary starter homes, as well as some of those that may even exceed the $450,000
That's exciting.
range.
That is exciting to see happening at the city of Trotwood.
It really is.
So let's talk a little bit about what's happening on Main Street. That's the talk of the town now.
Absolutely.
And often I have the opportunity to tell people that is our downtown. Main Street in Trotwood is downtown, contrary to the idea that it's Salem Avenue. So let's talk about what's happening there.
Well, again, Main Street is a really exciting time right now with almost $30 million of new construction underway right now. It's a very exciting time to be driving down Main Street.
Yes, it is.
And we really are fomenting what is a downtown for Trotwood. It sits adjacent, obviously, to our old town, so it brings in some of that historical character. But this is giving us an opportunity to establish a new zone that will be walkable, that will have both residential housing in the way of some new multifamily that's currently under construction, as well as others that are in pre-development stages, as well as some of the resources that are going to be so important. And through that, we're hoping to bring in new businesses, but also support those and elevate the ones that are currently active here today along Main Street. So at this time, there's a couple development sites that obviously the city owns, so the CIC itself. So we're working to redevelop those, but obviously with the new courthouse coming in right next to the Trotwood Government Center, the new library, which we're very fortunate to have had open here for a little while. It's a beautiful building and a great resource in the community. Can't believe it, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Goodwill Easter Seals building, which is coming along pretty quickly.
Yes.
And then the Trotwood Senior Lofts project, which we designated for seniors just across the street from the old library, actually.
That's amazing. I went away for vacation, and when I came back, I saw 4 floors, and I thought, amazing. Trotwood has a high-rise now.
Incredible, right? Well, and the purpose and the intent of that was to situate it closer to the front of the street to give us that downtown of a feel.
Yes.
And create the open space and the park space that the residents of that building will use towards the back near the creek. And again, hopefully that continued development will begin to develop this sense of a Main Street. And looking at the Yard and Company plan that the city commissioned years ago, while we're not, I would say, following that to a T, we've implemented and actually expedited some of the timelines associated with that plan, which is very exciting, and it shows the momentum being built within the city right now. And the fact that we have sites that are under our control, that would be the next natural sites for development in that corridor is very exciting. And again, I think gives us the ability to really continue to force the equation and keep momentum going.
Right, so we are answering that call for housing
Right.
in this area, and we're excited about being able to do that. So most people don't know about what Goodwill Easter Seals is going to be doing in that building. They think it's going to be a store, and I keep saying it is not going to be a store, people.
That's
This is
right.
going to be a different kind of a Goodwill Easter Sales. You want to talk about that?
Absolutely, and that's a really good point of emphasis, Mayor,
Yes.
because this is going to be so much more than a store.
Yes.
This is a true service center, and predominantly going to be focused on senior services, everything from senior daycare, potential senior employment services, making sure that our senior community has the services that they need to be successful and live comfortably in the community. Additionally, I believe there's going to be services related to developmental disabilities, providing daycare and otherwise services for our community members who may have a family member or a friend who requires those services, as opposed to having to travel downtown
Yes.
now. That is going to be right here and accessible, and that's true of all of these services provided here. And then my understanding is as well, they're going to be working with the child development centers to create some more space there for childcare as well, which will be really great
Yes.
in the collaboration between seniors and children in one place. And there's plenty of studies that show that that's extremely healthy and beneficial for everyone.
Absolutely. 4 classrooms, I understand, are going to be there, and it is exciting to see that happen here on Main Street. And then the certificate programs that they're going to be offering,
Exactly.
which are going to be outstanding. So some parents could have it very easily. Their children are in school, and they could be very well over there in school.
And that is the vision, and quite frankly, with the family services, the job services, the workforce development programming they're going to be having, it's one more component of the how do we continue to give our residents the opportunity to upskill themselves and improve their quality of life here without having to travel extensively for those resources.
Absolutely.
And then additionally, something that's very important for the city beyond obviously what a Goodwill store would bring are the jobs that this center is going to have. These are going to be higher skilled jobs that are going to be higher paid than what you would see in a retail Goodwill.
Yes.
So these are new jobs that are going to be paying taxes here in the community, and hopefully we'll capture some of those employees as residents as well.
Exactly. And that's the exciting thing about what it is that we're doing. We are working on answering the challenge for our community by bringing living wage jobs to the community, and that's what's going to happen with the individuals that come with these various businesses that are newly located here in the city of Trotwood.
Exactly right, and that's true of the courthouse, and the courthouse will be more than just the courthouse too.
Yes.
They're going to have satellite offices for jobs and family services, as well as some other resources from the county co-located in that building. So it's going to be more than just a place where people come for tickets and items like that. This is going to be a full service one-stop shop for many things related to the county. That way
Yes.
you can save your trip down to the county.
Absolutely.
And these will all be resources even for our neighboring communities in the northwest quadrant of the
Yes.
community, which is exciting.
Yes, a number of municipalities will all be serviced through that particular location, which is extremely exciting. We know that a number of our seniors who live in the homes here in the city of Trotwood love Trotwood, but have decided that they need to get out of the housing. And so we know that looking at senior housing is something that's extremely important to our community, because we hear that cry, we want to stay in the community, but we want to live, in a little different place and maybe let the house go.
You're exactly right, Mayor. And right now, there's a deficit of opportunities for our seniors to move into communities that
Yes.
have less cost, less maintenance for them as compared to their current residential properties, especially if they're owners. And that is something that we recognize as a real opportunity for the community. And currently, it's actually limiting our residents in their homeownership opportunities. As we like to refer to it as the churn, the natural housing market churn. Right now, because of a lack of opportunities for residents to stay in the community and have that next choice of where do they want to live as a senior, they're not moving up naturally and then creating the secondary and the starter homes that would otherwise be created. So that has effectively jammed the natural housing market progression in Trotwood. So the more that we can open up those opportunities for seniors to have the quality of life they want as they make that next choice of how do I want to live, where do I want to live right here in the Trotwood community, we can then also open up some of these other opportunities for our starting families, for those who maybe are ready for that next home to move out of their starter home. And again, that helps promote home ownership in the community. And what many residents, I think, don't know, many are learning at this time, is that once we can open up those homes or get other homes online, it is actually, most cases, cheaper to own a home in Trotwood with your mortgage insurance and payments than it is to rent homes because of how many rents and how high rents are. So that's a real incredible opportunity for the community.
Absolutely.
We just need to work with our residents who are interested, get them to the homeownership center, get them to shop their lenders, and then get these homes redeveloped and or built and on the market for them.
Exactly.
And that'll change quite drastically.
Absolutely, and it's so true, because there are people in my neighborhood that are paying upwards towards $1,200 a month for a rental.
That can that gets you a pretty solid house.
Yeah, but the thing of it is it gets you where you don't have money for down payments, and you don't get yourself in a place where you own a home, you're stuck in the rental cycle. And that's what we're trying to help people with.
That's exactly right. And through all of this, it's a multi-pronged approach. Create opportunities for seniors like we're doing with the Trotwood Senior Lofts. That certainly is not the end of our efforts in that regard. Second is to create new homes, whether that's building them on empty, vacant, buildable lots or developing new neighborhoods, as it were. And then also, as we get these seniors moving up, get their homes redeveloped and create more opportunities at large for the community.
That's great. That's great. So I tell you, a prime example of that is Wolf Run Estates.
That's exactly
So let's
right.
talk about Wolf Run Estates and what's happening over there.
Absolutely. Well, we were very fortunate that D.R. Horton, the nation's largest home builder, identified this neighborhood as a great way to continue. The neighborhood was originally built out in the early mid-2000s, and it stalled with the Great Recession, like most developments at that time. So that left around 38 to 40 lots remaining that were buildable within that neighborhood.
Yes.
And D.R. Horton identified the opportunity to come and acquire those from the previous developer and build new homes. Those homes were selling between $185,000 and $225,000. And to this point, D.R. Horton has built and sold all of those lots.
It's amazing. I was just over there yesterday, and from the time that we actually showed the first model home to see the development and see these homes are already sold.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Well, it speaks to the fact that people want to be in Trotwood, and what we need to do is work to build and create the units that make that possible. It's not about people not wanting to be here. It's just getting the product out to the market, and it will work. So our initiative right now at the CIC is how can we work to extend neighborhoods where there's utilities and developable space? How can we work to find those lots that are developable so that we can get those built on right away?
Yes.
And in many neighborhoods, we do have some of those where possible the CIC is working to get ownership of those lots. If we don't have that ownership already, we're working to put partnerships together with builders right now so that homeowners can come and identify a lot and acquire it if they want, or we can get the builders to start building speculatively on these lots as well. And then from there, we hope that momentum will continue us like it did with D.R. Horton and Wolf Creek Run, but into other aspects of our community as well.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Chad, for joining us today for Trotwood Talks.
Absolutely.
Chad Downing, the Executive Director of the Trotwood Community Improvement Corporation. If you have a need or you have an opportunity that you want to share with the City of Trotwood, he would be the person to reach out to at the City of Trotwood. Again, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great time. Chad, thanks again.
Thank you, Mary, for the
Appreciate it.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day, guys.